The St. Louis Dragons continue season number 2 today as we head out to MetLife to face off against the Jets, followed by our very first primetime game in team history. The Dragons started this season with a record of 0-3. 3 very tight, close, and unfortunate losses, but in the last episode, we won both games that we played. We also had our first prospect profile of the season, going over the quarterbacks and running backs in the draft class. So our 2 wins came against the Vikings and the Seahawks, our first win streak in team history. The Minnesota game, we were really good, especially defensively. And then the Seattle game was just completely weird. I know we scored 34 points, but the offense really was not that impressive. With less than 5 minutes to go, we only had 10 points. But the problem is Seattle just choked unbelievably hard. Their rookie quarterback, Bryson Bowen, had 2 bad fumbles late in the game, which led us to scoring 24 points in the final 5 minutes. We're around a third of the way through the season, so I figured it's a good time to take a look at the stats for the team as of now. I really feel like Puma Whitlock has gotten off to a strong start here as a rookie. It hasn't been perfect, but I've liked what I've seen. The run game has been really strong with Mixon and Swift, but we need our other skill position players to produce. The receivers have had a hard time making plays. They've had a hard time staying healthy. And I feel like everyone feels that the offensive line is this team's biggest issue, but I honestly think it's the receiving core. These guys cannot stay healthy, and our best pass catchers are the tight ends and running backs on the roster. So the receivers have to step it up, whereas I think the offensive line has actually done a pretty good job, all things considered. We don't have a single 200-yard receiver through 5 games, yet the offensive line I think has done just fine. And again, it hasn't been perfect, but Puma Whitlock has generally had a good amount of time to throw it, and the run blocking's been quite good. Defensively, it's certainly been a mixed bag. We've had some good performances, the Minnesota game in particular, but overall the defense has not been great. I will say the pass rush has been very solid. Simeon Bonnet in particular, the rookie out of Tennessee, he looks like a superstar. Forget Defensive Rookie of the Year. He looks like he could be going for Defensive Player of the Year. In the last episode, Bonnet successfully completed a breakout challenge that upped his development trait from normal to star, and he also got 20,000 XP, which was good for almost 4 skill points. So the rookie class continues to produce, but we need a lot of these veterans to step it up, and hopefully they can do so here against a good New York Jets team. It's been a really fascinating last 18 months for the Jets. They traded for Aaron Rodgers. Last season didn't go well. Rodgers retires, and then in the offseason, they signed Sam Darnold, and they trade for Will Levis. Ultimately, it was Levis who ended up winning the starting job, unsurprisingly, and he's played fairly well so far. The Jets are a good team. They've got one of the better rosters in the league. They've got a solid group of skill position players with Dalvin Cook, Breece Hall, and Garrett Wilson leading the way, and their defense is really good too. Now, they will be without Quinnen Williams today. That's going to be a big loss. So let's head out to rainy MetLife Stadium for Week 6. The first of 2 games today for our St. Louis Dragons, who look to possibly go up to 500 and win their 3rd straight game of the year. This New York Jets team is good. They're 3-2, but they're in last place in their division. The AFC East has been really good. The Bills and the Dolphins each have 1 loss, while the New England Patriots have been the surprise of the league, as they're currently 5-0 with a career renaissance for Mac Jones and Ezekiel Elliott. So the Jets need all the wins they can get. In a very competitive division such as the AFC East, they cannot afford to lose games. I'm curious to see how the weather ultimately affects this one. I think it's going to neutralize things, which does help out the Dragons. On 3rd down, Whitlock is hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Good pressure by the New York Jets defensive line, who everyone's going to have to step up with no Quinnen Williams. And here's a look at the Jets offense led by Will Levis, the second-year signal caller out of Kentucky. On 2nd down, he's under pressure from Bonnet and friends as it's dropped. Jordan Whitehead had a pick 6 right in his hands, the former Jet, and he's unable to come down with it. 3rd and 10, Levis with a dot. That'll go for a 1st down into the hands of Corey Davis, the former top 5 pick out of Western Michigan. That'll move the chains for the Jets. From the 45, Levis alone in the backfield. He throws it up, and it's another dropped interception for Jordan Whitehead. The former Jets got the yips against his old squad. Whitehead has been a good starter with the Jets over the last few years before obviously signing here. On 3rd down, nice throwing catch into the hands of Garrett Wilson, one of the better young receivers in the NFL. From the 21 now, here's Levis. Rolls out for the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown by the free agent signing at tight end, Hunter Henry. And so the New York Jets are the first ones on the board. They lead at 7-0. We'll see how the Dragons can respond. St. Louis scored 34 points in both games last episode, but I do feel like the offense was actually kind of underwhelming in both games. I think the score was a little bit inflated. Here's a nice first down by Isaiah Likely, who continues to be Puma Whitlock's right-hand man up to this point. Likely leads the team in receptions through the first 5 games of the season. On second down, it's Michael Thomas. Fittingly, Slant Boy runs a slant, and it goes for a good gain. The Dragons have brought it to the goal line now in the second quarter. Second and goal. DeAndre Swift is in for a touchdown, and the Dragons will tie it up at 7. So the Dragons march down the field. They respond with a touchdown of their own, but there's one problem. The weather may affect certain things in this game. Catching the ball, throwing the ball. How about kicking the ball? Cameron Dicker, the kicker, misses the extra point wide to the left. The Jets hold on to their lead as Dicker misses just his second kick of the year. On third down, wide open on the wheel route, it's Breece Hall who gets it to the 43-yard line. The ultra-talented young running back out of Iowa State, already a team captain in just his 3rd season with the Jets. 3rd and 6. Levis's pass is dropped. The Dragons have dropped 3 interceptions in the first half. This time it's Okudah who got his hands on it, but he's unable to come down with it. So the Dragons get it back, trailing by 1, as on second down the pocket collapses, and that's a fumble! And it's picked up by the Jets! Will McDonald was the one who forced it, and it's recovered by Jermaine Johnson. I really thought the rain would help the Dragons today, but they've had 3 dropped picks, a missed extra point, and now a fumble. Big strip sack by Will McDonald, the former first-round pick, another former Iowa State Cyclone. And so the Jets get the ball inside the 10-yard line. First play of the drive is the only play of the drive. Breece Hall with the touchdown. And the New York Jets are up by 8. So it's now 14-6. Dragons back with it. Puma under pressure. He's intercepted. Another turnover from Puma Whitlock as it's picked off by C.J. Mosley on third down. Puma Whitlock has really struggled so far in the rain here, especially in this second quarter, with back-to-back turnover drives, and the Jets again get it with great field position. Levis sacked on first down by Owen Popo for a loss of 6. Popo comes into the backfield so quick. He is a heat-seeking missile. Second and long. Levis's pass is going to be caught. What a catch. Down inside the 10 to the 6 by Hunter Henry, who already has 3 catches for 47 yards and obviously a touchdown. Now on first and goal, Breece Hall breaks a tackle. He is in. So the Jets defense forces 2 turnovers, and they score off of both possessions. And so it is now 21-6. The Dragons looking to respond here before halftime as Puma Whitlock sails it up on first down, and it's caught. Greg Dortch down the field. That's a touchdown. Great read by Puma Whitlock. He saw Dortch had enough separation on DJ Reed, and the Dorcher Chamber takes it all the way. It's now 21-13. The Jets get it back. 2.5 to go in the first half on 1st and 17. Levis's pass to the sideline is hauled in for a first down by Garrett Wilson. It's been a busy first half here for Levis. The Jets have really focused on getting the pass game going, and, well, I guess it's working. Up the middle on first down, it's McCole Hardman who gets the first down for New York, and the Jets are really moving it nicely down the field. 2nd and 10 now, 1.5 to go. Jets still with all 3 timeouts. Levis has all day to throw it, and he gets another first down. It's Garrett Wilson once again. The Jets have a real opportunity to make it a 2-score game. Under a minute now left in the half in the red zone at the 18-yard line with just about everybody in motion. Play action fake. Levis connects with McCole Hardman, and that'll go for a Jets touchdown, and they lead it 28-13. I know 28 points is a lot. I don't feel like the defense is entirely to blame. That drive in particular was a bad one, but 2 of the Jets' touchdowns have been off of turnovers. Puma sacked for a big loss by Jermaine Johnson, and so that'll make it a 2nd and 23. Most teams would just run out the clock here, but the Dragons want to continue to be aggressive. Dortch wide open down the field. He is out of bounds at the 40. With 4 seconds to go, the Dragons are going to send the field goal team out onto the field. It's a 57-yard try here for Cameron Dicker, the kicker, who's already missed an extra point today. This one is up, and it is short. It's no good. Mecole Hardman will return it out of the end zone, and he does not make the cut left that he should have, and is wrapped up by Will Dissly. And so that'll wrap up the first half. I feel like this game has been pretty competitive, but the score doesn't show it because of two bad turnovers, a Puma Whitlock fumble and a Puma Whitlock interception. But since the turnovers, I will say he has looked quite good. Let's take a look at our halftime report around the league as we will start in Indianapolis. We talked about this ultra-competitive AFC East. The Bills are really good, and so far they lead the Colts 10-7 off of this rushing touchdown by Josh Allen. Let's check in on the Patriots and the Dolphins in Foxborough. The 5-0 New England Patriots appear to be the real deal. They lead 21-10 against a great Dolphins team. And then in Minnesota, the Vikings only 1-4, but they lead at 7-3. It's been a big week for Minnesota as wide receiver Justin Jefferson signed a 4-year, $147 million extension. That touchdown was his first catch after signing the record-breaking deal that's going to net him over $35 million a season, by far a receiver record. As we go into the second half, I think the passing game has had their good moments and their bad moments. I think Puma Whitlock's done a good job adjusting here in the rain. And then defensively, Will Levis has done a really good job of stretching the field. Our secondary's not had a good game. Our pass rush has been non-existent. Hopefully they can wake up. The Jets start with the ball. Great throw on first down by Levis. And it's hauled in by Mecole Hardman, who had a late touchdown in the first half. The Jets with a strong drive down the field. They've used around 4 minutes of clock, and they are marching down the Dragons' throats. Second and goal. Wide open touchdown is dropped by Hardman. He had the ball right in his mitts. How did he not come down with it? So now it's a third and goal for New York. Handoff for Breece Hall, and he does not get it. Devin White leads the way, and the Jets have an interesting decision on fourth down. They are unsurprisingly going to keep the offense out of the field and go for it. In shotgun, Levis looks to throw it, and it is caught for a touchdown. Hunter Henry with his second. So the Jets were on the red zone for quite a while, and the Dragons' goal line defense did a good stop until the final play. All it takes is one. Jets up 35-13. Here's Michael Thomas with plenty of running room. Thomas down the field, finally wrapped up by Sauce Gardner, but not before bringing it to the 22. Big play after the catch by Michael Thomas, who certainly is not known for his yak ability at this stage of his career. 3rd and 11. Incomplete. Dissly the intended target. And so the Dragons on fourth down are only going to kick the field goal. Cameron Dicker missed one short early. This time it will fall. And Cameron Dicker is now 2 of 4 on kicks today. So the Jets get it back. 3rd and 7. Here's Levis. Takes a shot and it's broken up. Another dropped interception. Rock Ya-Sin had it in his hands, but he's unable to come down with it. The Dragons will get it back with around 40 seconds left to go in the quarter. 3rd and 10. Puma Whitlock up the middle. It's hauled in by Greg Dortch. Puma had enough time to throw it to find Dortch open up the middle of the field. Now in the fourth quarter, St. Louis hanging on for dear life, still trailing by 3 possessions. 3rd and 7. Here's Puma Whitlock, connects with Joe Mixon. Mixon with room brings it to the 20. I feel like the offense is really starting to find a rhythm, and as I mentioned, ever since the 2 turnovers, Puma Whitlock has looked like a completely different quarterback. 1st and goal, Puma for the corner of the end zone. What a catch by Dortch, but he's out of bounds. Would have been his 2nd receiving touchdown of the game. 3rd and goal from the 6. Puma under pressure, rolls out to the right side. He's got some running room, and he is in for a touchdown. Puma Whitlock with his 2nd career rushing touchdown. And the St. Louis Dragons are going to make it a little bit closer, as it's now 35-23. The Jets are still in the driver's seat, but I suppose the game is not over yet. Handoff to Breece Hall on first down. He's got room. Breece Hall down the field. Nobody's going to catch him. A 61-yard touchdown for the New York Jets. That's a hat trick. Breece Hall with his 3rd touchdown of the game. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe the Dragons are not back in this game as they're back down by 3 scores. Puma Whitlock takes a slide on 2nd down. He's ran the ball well, and he's done a good job of not taking hits. 2nd and 4. Puma is sacked. He fumbles it again. Luckily, the Dragons are there to recover. Andrew Norwell scoops it up. The strip sack was by the rookie corner, Kenya Catch. Puma's former college teammate out of The Ohio State University. On fourth down, it's a curl route from Michael Thomas. Curls get the girls, and that'll keep the chains moving. Another fourth down, this time 4th and 2. Short throw for Greg Dortch, and he has it inside the 10-yard line. The Dragons have converted 2 fourth downs on this drive. Can they get one more? 4th and goal. Puma is sacked on the play. It's Rashaan Evans who finishes him off, and the New York Jets get the win 42-23 over the Dragons, and St. Louis's short win streak comes to a close. I feel like we kept this game kind of competitive, but it always felt like the Jets had control, especially when they got the 2 turnovers, and we were never really able to battle back. I was really impressed with Will Levis, and I do think our secondary has really struggled this year, but that does not take away from the performance that Will Levis had. I thought he was really good. He made some strong throws. He did have a few interceptions that were dropped, though. He got lucky there. And then as for us, Puma Whitlock was fine. The 2 turnovers were very costly, and I think without them, we would have had a much better shot of winning the game. But after the turnovers, he was really good. I will say our receivers finally looked good. Greg Dortch and Michael Thomas each had their best games of the season. And then defensively, we weren't great. We weren't horrible. I don't think we were as bad as the 42 points on the scoreboard suggests. We just got to clean up some of these silly mistakes. We can't turn the ball over as much as we did, and we got to take advantage of opportunities to force turnovers. Javon Kinlaw broke his ribs, and Drew Dalman tore his labrum. They will each miss a couple of weeks. I think the Kinlaw loss in particular is going to be a big deal. Once he got hurt, our pass rush was non-existent, and I feel like we have been a lot better with Kinlaw in the lineup. Here's a look at your scores around the league here in week number 6. We talked about New England. They do end up beating the Dolphins. They remain undefeated. Players of the week, Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Jalen Johnson, and Denzel Ward. So that'll bring us into week 7, our first ever primetime game. We did not have any last year. We've got 2 this year. Thursday night here against the Buccaneers, and then in 3 weeks from now, week 10, Thursday night in San Francisco against the 49ers. So our players are going to have to deal with a short week here, as are the Buccaneer players as well. It's not a disadvantage for everybody because both teams have to deal with the same circumstances. But I think this is going to be a really interesting game, and I'm happy that our matchup against the Bucs is on primetime because of the very interesting storyline that we've got with the Bucs being the team who passed on Puma Whitlock in the draft. Once the Buccaneers got the number 1 pick last year, I thought it was a sure thing that they would pick Puma Whitlock, but obviously they did not, and the question is, do they regret it? Puma Whitlock's development trait has been revealed, and as you can see, he has superstar development. So he doesn't quite have X Factor, but he doesn't have star either. I would count this as a win. So Puma Whitlock does not have a ton of abilities yet because he's only a 79 overall. I think for now we're going to give him the safety valve ability because he throws to his running backs a lot. So I think that's going to be rather useful. So do the Buccaneers regret passing on Puma Whitlock? Well, with the number 1 pick, they selected Notre Dame pass rusher Solomane Samaro, who also has superstar development. And so far, he's been fairly solid this year. 4 TFLs, 3.5 sacks. Just a little bit worse than Simeon Bonnet up to this point. And then the Buccaneers traded back into the first round to select Deacon Adderley, the quarterback out of Oklahoma. And it's interesting they did that because I had said on draft night, had we not gotten Puma Whitlock, I likely would have done the same thing. I would have tried to move up in the first round and get Deacon Adderley because I think he's a great player, minus the obvious medical concerns. Now, Deacon Adderley has not been all that good through his first 6 games of his career. He has played a lot better. His 2 best games have come over the last 2 weeks against the Eagles and the Panthers, but he has had to deal with a lot of growing pains. The Buccaneers have a good receiver tandem with Evans and Godwin, although they don't have much of the run game. Their front 7 is really good, though. They've got plenty of superstars on that side of the ball. Vita Vea is a monster, and then they've got Levante David, Solomane Samaro, and Shaq Barrett all going after the quarterback. So I feel like this is kind of a revenge game for Puma Whitlock, being that, well, this is the team who chose to pass on him, but it's not just a revenge game for him. The Buccaneers were unwilling to make Devin White one of the highest paid off-ball linebackers in the NFL, which led to the Buccaneers leaving him unprotected in the expansion draft. Obviously, we picked him, and it has worked out very well for us and Devin White. And of course, we gave him what he wanted, making him one of the highest paid off-ball linebackers based on his average annual value per season. So the Dragons will start with the ball. It is a 3rd and 5. Puma Whitlock looks to throw it. and it is broken up by Shaq Barrett. Why they have him in coverage, I don't know. Let's take a look at Deacon Adderley, the rookie quarterback here for the Buccaneers. Both of the Dragons' wins this season have come against rookie QBs, and sure enough, first play of the drive is intercepted. Jeff Okudah with his second interception of the year, and the Dragons force a turnover, leading to great field position. An early mistake for Deacon Adderley, who has not thrown an interception since week 4. The Dragons back with it. 3rd and 10. Michael Thomas with room. He'll take it all the way. A 30-yard touchdown from Puma Whitlock to Michael Thomas, and the Dragons are on the board first. Over the last week or so, it really feels like Puma and MT are finally starting to build a good chemistry together. Thomas coming off his best game of the year. 3rd and 6, it's a wheel route, and it's Rachaad White down the field, eventually tripped up by Owen Popo, but not before gaining 59. Popo has shown us so many flashes, especially whether it's in the run game or on a linebacker blitz, but he's got a lot of work to do in coverage. 3rd and 8, screen is swallowed up immediately by Devin White, the former Buccaneer, as he wraps up Antonio Gibson. Tampa Bay would make a field goal, and it's 7-3. Dragons back with it. 3rd and inches. Mixon goes backwards. He's wrapped up by Vita Vea. 4 carries, negative 3 yards on the day for Mixon. The Dragons usually are very aggressive on 4th down, but they decided to punt it away here, and the Bucs have it back. Adderley under a lot of pressure. He fires it over to Antonio Gibson to the 34. A lot of pressure quickly being sent by the rookie, Simeon Bonnet. On 1st down, it's caught by Mike Evans, who brings it to the 43, and now the Tampa Bay offense appears to be in business. Deacon Adderley started slow, but he's starting to look a lot better, and he's made some impressive throws. Toss to the right side, and Rachaad White loses 6. It's Simeon Bonnet who brings him down. All this kid does is make plays, whether it's as a pass rusher or in the run game. He was a little quiet, though, last week against the Jets. Bonnet sends pressure on 3rd down. Adderley has a wide-open man downfield. It's Cade Otton, the tight end, who gets it to the 8-yard line. What kind of coverage was that? There was nobody miles from Cade Otton when he caught the ball. 3rd and goal now. Adderley rolls out to the right side with room. He is stopped just shy of the end zone by Simeon Bonnet. It's 4th and goal at the 1. The Jets are going to keep the offense out on the field. They will look to go for it here. Everybody's in motion. They're trying to throw the defense off. What's the plan here for the Bucs? Adderley looks to throw it. Flag on the play as he's intercepted. It's Chuck Reed, the undrafted rookie out of Northern Iowa, who picks it off. It's going to be a holding call against the offense on Cody Malk. So the penalty will be declined, and the interception counts for the rookie Chuck Reed, his first interception of his career. Dragons back with it as Mo Alley Cox drops it on 3rd and inches to start the 2nd quarter. And this time, the Dragons will keep the offense out on the field and go for it. The run game hasn't been good, so they're going to throw it, and it works. It's a 1st down reception for Jarvis Landry, who gets it to the 42-yard line. So the offense converts here. We'll see if they can capitalize. Puma down the field is Tykeem Kenyon Jr. to the 22. Isaiah Wynn banged up on the play. He luckily should be able to return fairly soon, though. 3rd and 12 now from the 24. Puma looks to throw it. It's just going to be a screen here for DeAndre Swift to the left side. And he is wrapped up by Zaven Collins, the former 1st-rounder of the Cardinals. So that'll bring out the field goal team. It's Cameron Dicker, the kicker. His kick is good, and the Dragons make it 10-3. So a strong drive there. They get some points and now lead by 7. Tampa Bay back with it. 3rd and 8. It's a screen, and it's swallowed up again by Devin White, who so far has played his best game of the year against his former team. He really does look like he's got a chip on his shoulder. Offense back with it as Swift hands the ball to Levante David. Okay, I mean, that's one way to turn over the ball. That was a good run by Swift, but Levante David just scooped the ball out of his hands. So the Bucs will get the ball back, and they'll get it with pretty good field position. 3rd and 3 with 3 to go in the half. Deacon Adderley's pass is dropped by Chris Godwin. He had a 1st down right in his hands, but he's unable to come down with it. And so that'll bring out the field goal team. Kick is up, nearly blocked by Darnell Savage, but it is good, and the Buccaneers bring the lead down to 4. Dragons back with it. 3rd and 2 from the 29. It's a handoff for DeAndre Swift, and he does not get it. Big tackle for loss by Zaven Collins. The Buccaneers' run defense has been unreal today. Swift, 5 carries, 19 yards. Mixon, 8 carries. I think he has -1 yards. This run defense has been stout. So Tampa Bay gets it back after the 2-minute warning, 3rd and 10. Adderley downfield. It's broken up by Jeff Okudah. The offense has been lackluster, but the defense has looked significantly better than they did a week ago against New York. Dragons back with it, 2nd and 10. Puma under a lot of pressure. He's going to try to get rid of it, but he cannot. He is sacked for a loss of 7. That'll make it a 3rd and long now. Buccaneers just called a timeout as it's a short pass for Joe Mixon, and he will nearly get the first down, gaining around 15. But ultimately, Tampa Bay does get the stop. They'll get it back with just under a minute and no timeouts left. Deacon Adderley is a wide-open man downfield, and it's overthrown. That was a touchdown right in Russell Gage's hands, but the pass was overthrown. A little too much mustard on it. 3rd and 6 now. Adderley's pass for Evans is broken up by Rock Ya-Sin. The defense continues to play great. The secondary's been inconsistent this year, but today they've been phenomenal. Puma Whitlock with open rushing room gets a block. Whitlock down the field gets 28 yards on the run. Puma Whitlock is trying to be more aggressive with his legs while simultaneously not taking hits, and I think he's done a good job. 18 seconds left. Here's Puma Whitlock under pressure. He is sacked on the play. A big loss there for the offense as they call their 3rd and final timeout. The Dragons have had a good drive, though. They still want to score. I think they might look for the sidelines and try to kick it. That's exactly what they do, as it's a short play for a gain of 7 to Michael Thomas, and that'll bring out the field goal unit. It's a 56-yarder for Cameron Dicker. He missed a 57-yarder short last week. And this one is also no good. It is short again. Cameron Dicker, the kicker, does not have enough leg on it. He's missed 3 kicks today, 2 field goals and an extra point. So this game is 10-6 going into the halftime break. An old-fashioned defensive battle, which is honestly pretty refreshing because we've had a lot of high-scoring games this year. Since this is Thursday Night Football, we don't have any highlights to show. Well, because this is the only game that we've had. So, no halftime show because there's nothing to show. Going into the second half, the run game has to be better. We've ran the ball well this season, but today it has been a disaster. But I also want Puma Whitlock to continue to produce. I think all things considered, even though he's been under a lot of pressure, Puma's played pretty well. Defensively, we've been great. Deacon Adderley has really struggled. Hopefully we can keep it going as the Bucs start with the ball here in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 8. Adderley flushed out to the left side, and he throws it away. Joseph Osai leads the pressure, and that'll lead to another punt for the Tampa Bay offense. Dragons back with it. 2nd and 5. Puma Whitlock rolls out to the right side. He's going to look to run with it, and he slides for a first down. Doesn't want to take a hit. Maybe he could have cut upfield to the right, but still a solid first down run nonetheless. Here's Dortch up the middle. Hauls it in at the 38-yard line. Good throw by Puma Whitlock, and that'll go for another first down. 3rd and 9 now for the Dragons. Play action fake. Up the middle. Isaiah Likely this time hauls it into the 19. Puma Whitlock looks really comfortable on this drive, whether it's as a runner or standing tall in the pocket making throws. 3rd and inches. Play action again. Puma for the end zone. It's dropped. Isaiah Likely had it in his hands, but it's broken up in the secondary. 4th and inches. The offense will stay on the field. They're going to go for it. Joe Mixon with the ball, and he does break the tackle from Levante David and is able to get the first down to the 7. Mixon with 12 carries now for 8 yards. 1st and goal. Puma Whitlock under a little bit of pressure, and he is sacked on the play. It's Servasia Dennis, the 2nd-year linebacker out of Pitt, who brings him down. 3rd and goal from the 5. Can the Dragons punch it in? Puma under more pressure. He's sacked again. Zaven Collins untouched the entire play going into the backfield to bring him down. And after all that, the Dragons are just going to have to settle for a field goal. Dicker is 1 of 2 on field goals today as he splits the uprights here from 31. And it remains a one-score game. Not an awful possession for the Bucs defense as it's 13-6. Their offense has to wake up, though, at some point. On 3rd and 11, the pass is thrown away. Emmanuel Ogba with the pressure. I think Deacon Adderley has completed like one of his last 10 passes or something. It's been tough sledding. Dragons back with it. Short throw for Mixon. He gets rocked for a loss of 6. It's the rookie corner out of LSU, Derek Justice, the Jim Thorpe Award winner, who, if you remember, the Dragons wanted to pick him in the 4th round, but the Buccaneers stole him one spot ahead of us. 3rd and 10. Puma Whitlock slides shy of the yard to gain. He could have fought for extra yardage, but he's our magnum opus. He can't take hits. He's just going to have to slide. First play of the 4th quarter, Bucks back with it. 3rd and 3. Adderley looks to throw it. Boink! Off of Antonio Gibson's helmet. It has just been that kind of day for Deacon Adderley and the Buccaneers offense. Dragons back with it. Still only a 1-score game. As on 2nd down, Puma rolls out to the right side. He's going to look to potentially run with it, but he's got a wide open man downfield. It's Greg Dortch to the 27. Nobody covered him at all. That was not Puma's initial read. But eventually, he figured, why not look downfield, see if I can get anything, and sure enough, he was wide open. 2nd down, it's intercepted! The fun comes to a screeching halt. Jamel Dean picks it off. A costly turnover from the rookie quarterback, and the Buccaneers now have an opportunity here on offense to take advantage of the turnover. First play of the drive, it's Rachaad White up the middle, gets around 18 yards. The Buccaneers have not been able to run the ball well today, but if they can get Rachaad White and some of these other backs going, that could be a big deal and open up the passing game. Adderley on 1st down under pressure. Hit as he throws as it's caught by Mike Evans, who will get it past the 50 to the 36-yard line. Let's see if Deacon Adderley can continue to make some big throws here on this drive as he has a wide open man. It's Rachaad White. Again, Owen Popo's a really talented player, but he just allows a few too many big plays in coverage. That's really his one only weakness right now. The Buccaneers have brought it all the way to the 4. Can they finally punch it in the end zone for the first time today? 2nd and goal, it's Rachaad White, who is in for a touchdown. We're tied at 13. That's the first touchdown of this game since Michael Thomas scored like a minute in. So now the Dragons get it back, one of the biggest possessions in the young career of Puma Whitlock. The Dragons have not had a true touchdown drive today because their lone touchdown came off of the turnover. Not a great start to the drive. Puma sacked on 1st down by Servasia Dennis, and then the rookie, Solomane Samara, was there in the backfield as well. Now it's a 3rd and 16. Puma calls for an audible, biggest play of the game, under pressure, and he connects with Isaiah Likely for a 1st down. Big-time players make big-time plays. Huge throw by Puma Whitlock to keep the drive going. 2nd and 10, it's Likely again up the middle. These two guys have so much chemistry. Puma Whitlock and Isaiah Likely worked out and trained together all summer long, and it shows with how comfortable Puma is throwing it to him. 2nd and 5, Greg Dortch wide open down the field. He is out of bounds at the 11. A huge play for the Dragons offense, and now they're finally in a rhythm. Can they get their first touchdown drive of the game? From the 11, it's DeAndre Swift, looks to break a tackle, and he is pushed forward for a touchdown. The St. Louis Dragons regain the lead with 3.5 minutes to go. Huge drive here from Puma Whitlock, who plays his best when the lights are the brightest. The Buccaneers get it back, and now it's time to see what Deacon Adderley can do in the big moment. Adderley on 1st down has a wide open man. It's Chris Godwin. Nobody was covering him, and he will bring it all the way to the 27, wrapped up by DeMar Hamlin as Levi Onwuzurike is hurt. Now all the way at the 27, it is 2nd and 10. Adderley looks to throw it. He's under pressure from Bonnet. That ball's out. It's a fumble. And it will be scooped up by Deacon Adderley, but not before he loses 19. Simeon Bonnet puts the right tackle on the spin cycle. That's his 3rd forced fumble of the year. On 3rd down, Deacon is intercepted. Rock Ya-Sin picks it off. That's the 3rd interception today for the defense. We've really seen the growing pains here for the rookie Deacon Adderley, and hopefully the Dragons don't let Tampa Bay get the ball back. Now St. Louis's rushing game has not been good today. 3rd and 3, Mixon bounces off a blocker with a 1st down, and Mixon will stay in bounds as he brings it to the 31. 2nd and 3, DeAndre Swift to the right side gets the first. He'll dive forward, and that should do it. The St. Louis Dragons win their first primetime game in team history as they defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here on Thursday Night Football, 20-13 in a low-scoring defensive battle. The Dragons now 3-4. They've won 3 of their last 4, headed into Week 8, which is the trade deadline, and the Dragons are going to have a meeting with the 7-0 New England Patriots. So this was certainly an interesting game, by far the best performance we had from the defense this year, and we really saw the struggles from Deacon Adderley Puma Whitlock played pretty well. The interception was bad, but other than that, he was fine, although I will say the offense did not consistently move the ball down the field, although it wasn't all his fault. But Deacon Adderley just was not very accurate. Last year in the 6 games he played at Oklahoma, he threw 0 interceptions. Today he threw 3. The NFL's a different beast, but he did have some really good throws. We saw the creativity from the Ben Johnson offense. Both teams did not run the ball well. As for the receiving game, Greg Dortch was really good again. Michael Thomas made more plays. Isaiah Likely is a baller, and then defensively we were great. Devin White had his best game of the year. Simeon Bonnet continues to be a playmaker. The Buccaneers' pass rush was really good, though. Our offensive line had a rough day in terms of run blocking and pass blocking. And then, of course, we had the 3 interceptions from Okudah, Reed, and Yasin. The punters were both very busy as well. Shout out to both of the punters. So despite the fact that it was a short leak, we were able to head out on the road on primetime football with a national audience watching us, and we were able to prove to the world that we're no slouch. This team is for real. We do have a new injury, however, unfortunately, and this one will go to Jelani Tavai, who's had a pretty solid season. He's going to miss the next 3 weeks with an abdominal tear. Not ideal. We've currently got 5 starters out. Here's a look at your Week 7 slate around the rest of the league. New England's still undefeated. They win on Monday Night Football, so they'll be 7-0 for their matchup against us. Players of the week, Desmond Ridder, Joe Burrow, Stephon Gilmore, and Quincy Williams. So I'm upgrading Puma Whitlock here. He goes up by 2, interestingly enough, and he now has a new ability. Since he's over an 80 overall, I'm going to give him tight out. He throws to his tight end a lot, so that'll help his connection with Isaiah Likely even more. So we are now here at the trade deadline, and I feel like we're in an interesting spot. We're not a bad team. We're 3-4. We have a completely even point differential, perfectly balanced as all things should be, and we are well alive in the playoff race. So it's kind of a weird spot because we're under 500. We're a young team. We're still rebuilding. We're looking to add draft capital, so you'd think we would sell. But on the flip side, I don't think it makes a ton of sense to sell, especially on offense, because we need to give our rookie quarterback the best possible infrastructure possible. But I don't want to give up draft capital to go out and buy. So we've certainly put ourselves in an interesting position here going into the trade deadline. Do we sell? Do we buy? Do we do both? Do we hang tight and do nothing? Let me know what you think we should do down below in the comments. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.